Thanks for I guess making the time and yeah, very excited to really look at everybody else's what they're up to. So what we're building out, so it's a global earning network, very simply, and using Web3. So tokenomics play a key part in terms of engagement. We believe that Web3 is a very good way to engage the community. And it is actually a core tenet of what we're trying to do, even today, pre-launch. So there's a couple of concepts of where we really think, what I'd just like to run through, I think, today with you. So there's two concepts here. So spend to earn is very common. As today, this is where you go into a store, you go and spend, and then you get some form of rewards or some form of benefit back as a user. So an example of that in the crypto space could be crypto.com, for example, where they're funding through interchange, they're funding through tokens, and they're funding through the other DeFi in terms of revenue models. What we're really keen to expand, I think, globally is what we call contribute to earn. And contribute to earn is where you do something and then you get rewarded for that contribution. And very simply, what we're building is basically an earning platform, which is a place where micro tasks can flourish, where you have a need, whether it is a merchant, a user, or the Rubix platform itself. There is a need. They come onto our platform, and then they create a campaign or a task for somebody to complete. Now, within that task pool, a user can then go and pick what they want to be doing, and then they get rewarded through tokens, and the platform itself facilitates all of that, creates an engaging platform and place for these tasks to be viewed and picked up. What we're really looking at is a very wide variety of tasks within the platform, the Rubix platform. And that is our task, I guess, is to go in and secure as many, I guess, end users, so merchants and users onto the platform to really create a fulfilling ecosystem. Very simply, we've got a daily earn target, which is where you go on and you set your preferences in terms of what tasks you want to be doing, the amount of tasks you want to be doing. We are location dependent, so we will see the tasks that are actually feasible for you to complete in your local area. Once you have set your preferences and your daily earn target, we will be presenting you with a whole bunch of micro tasks in your locality that you can complete. Now, these are things like pinning business locations, enriching listings. It could be what we call UGC, so user-generated content. So this is the things like what Yelp may do. So
yeah, but
reviews.
that's I'm hearing you. If you can just speak up.
Can you hear me now, Brianna?
It's better, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So within the platform, there will be a bunch of different tasks that you can complete. There will be other things, maybe referring friends, which is a traditional model of using tokens to basically refer a friend and get $5 sort of approach. A big part of what we're actually doing is validation. So whenever there is user-generated content, there is also, in many cases, another user can come and validate that. So it's very important then when we're talking about UGC on an application like this, that the data quality is of the standard that is useful. And we are also crowdsourcing that validation. The other one, which is definitely quite easy for everybody to understand, is the ads. And I'll go into a little bit in some time why we look at ads and what we're doing here. And then once the earnings are actually within the platform, what we're doing is that we're providing a way for those to be off-ramps and to be useful. And it's very important that these are useful in people's existing lives. And this is where we have integrations into an issuing card, which is incredibly important in some of the developing markets where we are really focusing this product, where 2/3 of individuals in the likes of Philippines, for example, are actually unbanked and do not have the financial services that we would expect in a developed country. So that's a very high level of the experience. This just speaks a little bit more in terms of what we're really trying to do. So we're trying to bring the, I guess, the ease of use and the best of Web 2 with the community building and the supercharging aspect of Web 3. So ultimately, we're creating a place where users can crowdsource and be valuable as a whole, and then get rewarded for that. And as I said, once the earnings are within the platform, it's our responsibility to make sure that these are actually useful in a way that reminds people of the ease of use of Web 2. Now, I mentioned advertising as one of the tasks or one of the campaigns that the merchants can set for users on the platform. At the moment, in Web 2, there are 3 large entities that generate $360 billion annually of advertising revenue. This is the market that we're really looking at. But in exchange for that, $360 billion, the merchant gets impressions. They will get a high level click-through rate. They will get a return on advertising spend. They'll get some data, but they're not getting the user. And they're also not talking to the user in a way that is efficient. What we're building here is actually a model of attribution. So what you can see here is that there's a dotted line. The user is supplying all the data into the centralized platform. The merchant's not really enjoying that. So we've got an attribution model where the user data is transparent, gets passed back or is visible, obviously with permissions back to the merchant. And in exchange, we are enabling the distribution of that value and that profit back to the user. It's a profit sharing relationship, which intends to create a slightly different angle for the merchants and that engagement. Now, one example, and this is why Web3 is so exciting. So we spoke to one of the early investors into Helium. If you guys are in the States, you would be aware of this. So they were initially a Web 2 model where they themselves were actually going and installing and putting these, I guess, the hotspot hardware out into the users. And that did not reach the growth, I guess, and the scale that they were looking to achieve. So they made the call to go and switch to Web 3, rewarding through tokens. And immediately the community started to engage, and they managed to, you see all the green dots on that, scale up incredibly fast from that point that they switched to tokenomics. Now, where are we at the moment? What we're doing is that we're building contributors across countries, all because we realize we have a big mission. The mission is to decentralize profits from centralized tech back into the hands of individuals. And what we're really doing at the moment is we're looking for contributors across the globe that can help us spread. Again, it's a very Web3 model in terms of how we are doing this. So as of today, we've got 11 countries that are represented in our contributor list. We've managed to attract very high quality, very experienced individuals. And it's all on the vision and the basis that what we're trying to do is really bring everybody up across the globe and let them earn a little bit more. As you can see, there is quite a high representation in Southeast Asia and India. And this is where there are a few things coming into play. So one is an intersection of the play to earn economy and crypto acceptance, but also that these markets are developing markets, which even earning $1 to $2 a day more will actually make a real difference. There's also a very high penetration of cryptocurrencies. So as at the moment, we are presenting weekly in the Philippines, and we're really just generating that ground level of knowledge, and we think about it as a hub and spoke, I guess, growth model where we are getting these connectors at the moment, so that once the app itself is ready, then we can really start pushing and getting this out to as many people as possible. And just in terms of that, we are building the MVP of the app at this point in time. It's probably quite good to know. So that's a few months away. But again, this is the contributors, and I might probably be good to just discuss Kerry and myself in that respect, is that we have both been building, in fact, there's 4 level 1 contributors, but we've all been building globally scalable consumer applications in the past. And this is basically our vision and our mission that we are absolutely dedicated on bringing to life. So that's a bit of a high level. If you do want to learn more, I just did it last night. So contribute to earn. If you type that into Twitter, it will bring up all of our articles and it will bring up us. But that's effectively what we're doing. So again, if there's any questions, if you want to learn more, reach out to Kerry G or myself. Yeah, we'd love to have you and continue the discussion.
Are you raising like an equity round, or is it all, are you selling tokens at this point? How are you funding this?
Yeah, so we're in the first tranche of private sale, and it is a token round. So that's we've got the first tranche open for about another month, and that's really going towards this MVP, getting that out into the hands of users in the Philippines.